It's time to build.
Hey everyone, it's Brian here, Free Range MTB. Thanks for tuning in to the channel today. Today I got something a little bit different than what I normally do on the channel. I'm not going to be showing you any rides today. It's been a really long time since I've made any videos for this channel. It's been really hard to kind of get motivated to create videos. I've got a ton of raw footage, but a lot of the footage I have is basically the same rides over and over and over. So it's getting to a point where it's really hard for me to try to figure out something new to show for the channel. That's one of the reasons why I'm kind of excited about what I'm going to be starting on here today with this video, and hopefully making it a series of videos that will chronicle the rebuilding of my old Specialized Fuse 6Fattie. This is a 2015 model. Brief history of what happened last year, 2019, around September, I think it was. I ended up breaking the bottom bracket. And long story short, I got some bad advice that suggested that the bottom bracket, when I broke it, I may have actually damaged the frame itself, which led to me buying a new bike, which led to me dismantling this bike, and then kind of setting all the parts aside. I started making some kind of a artistic remembrance, if you will, to this bike. It's pretty sentimental to me, so I didn't want to just get rid of it. But I was going to kind of honor it, if you will, in an art piece. But as I was looking at it, I realized maybe it wasn't as damaged as I was led to believe. This is the culprit area right here, and as you can see, I've got a new bottom bracket in it now. I'm not sure if that's real visible, but there's a new bottom bracket in there now. It's from Wheels Manufacturing. It's a PF30 bottom bracket, and it fits in there perfectly. It's nice and tight. And I don't think I was misled purposely. I think that there was an abundance of caution by the mechanic at the time to make sure that I had a safe ride. And I really don't regret moving on and buying the new bike that I have. It's the Giant Trance. I really enjoy that bike, but I really missed this bike here. This was my first official mountain bike. I had so much fun with it. This got me through so many firsts. I've had a number of wrecks on it. We've just been through a lot together, you know. And I want to kind of bring this bad boy back into use. So that's what the series of videos that I'm about to make are focused on. I'm going to rebuild this bike. I want to be very clear on one thing here. This is not a professional how-to video series by any means. This is going to focus on this specific bike with the very specific parts that I took off or had to rebuy in some cases for this bike. This is not going to be a general overall how-to video on putting a bike together. By no means am I a professional bike mechanic. I have some mechanical inclinations. I can do a few things with a bike, but this is all going to be a brand new learning experience for me, this whole series. So everything that you see me doing, I could be doing stuff wrong. I might not know it. Maybe there's some people in the comments that can show me or tell me otherwise if there's a better way to do things. But that's where I'm at right now, and I just want everyone to understand this is how I'm rebuilding this bike. It's not a how-to for all bikes. So with that in mind, let's get to it. This is the fork that came with the bike when I bought it. It's a Manitou Magnum. I'm not 100% certain of all the specs on it. It is a very, very nice fork. And it probably will need to be serviced, which may or may not be done by me. So if you're so inclined, I'd love to show you my progress. All right, so I have laid out on the table here the parts I'm going to be using for this particular project. I've got the fork right here. This is my homemade crown race installation tool. Now I know that there are some professional grade tools out there specifically for the job, but I don't do this professionally and I don't do it very often. So what I do have here is a 2 foot length of PVC. It's 1.5 inches in diameter. This was probably $3 at Lowe's. Put an end cap on it. Don't need to worry about gluing it. You just pop it on there. A couple of the other tools that I'll be using. I've got some grease. This is ceramic grease, high performance. Got some nitrile gloves. This torque wrench, we're going to be using a 4 and a 5 Allen key. I got the stem. This is, again, this is the one that came with the bike, so this is the one I'm going to use. Cane Creek headset. This is the 110 model series, guaranteed for 110 years. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to need it that long. Spacers, again, just what came with the bike. An extra set of Allen keys in case what I have in the torque wrench doesn't have the right sizes. Shop towel, mallet. Now this is not a rubber mallet, so I couldn't find my rubber mallet, so hopefully it's not going to break this. Those are what I'm using. Let's get busy. All right, so first things first, I'm going to be cleaning out the what is still left in the head tube here, even though this has been sitting around for over a year. It needs to be cleaned out still because it's still got some old grease in it. I think that will do. This fork, again, I took it off the bike initially, so it's got everything it needs already, but it has this crown race already installed. I honestly don't know if it matters what kind of crown race you use, but I'm going to go ahead and just play it safe, take this one off and put the one that came with the headset. The other thing that kind of makes me nervous, I'm not really sure if it matters, but there's a split. I don't know if y'all can see that. There's a split in this crown race. I don't know if that is a break or if it's supposed to be that way, but at any rate, I'm just going to play it safe and put the new crown race on. I think that's always a good idea. So I'm just going to lift this off, and it's got a bunch of gunk on there still. So we're just going to take this old crown race off. I'm going to clean off this gook here. All right, so next step. This is what we get in the box. We get a top cap and a star nut. I already got a star nut in there. I'm just going to make use of that one again. I don't need, another thing I don't need to do with this fork, since it is one that I was using before. It's already been cut specifically for this bike and for my use, so I don't need to worry about cutting the steer tube. We have the crown race. This is the lower bearing. This is the upper bearing. And because this is a tapered head tube, of course, that means the bearings are different diameters. So first thing then I want to do is get this. And I am pretty sure it matters what direction this goes, because I think this little tapered part right here fits into that. I mean, it fits really, really nicely like that. Because it fits so nicely that way, I'm going to make sure that this tapered part is facing up when I put it on the tube. So make sure that it slides on there nice and straight. And then put this there. And then we just pound on the top of this. Give it a few good whacks. And that, make sure it's seated all the way around. You want to make sure it gets all the way to the top of the crown, and make sure it's fully seated all the way around. So now, with the tapered end up, this fits real nicely right there. We stick the steer tube into the head tube, and then I'll be able to put the rest of this together. And then we put that on, then we put the spacers on, and hey, we might be done. So let's do that. All right, so here we are. Got my nitrile gloves put on because I'm allergic to things that feel greasy and gross. Don't read too much into that, please. So one thing I want to point out about this particular headset, or this particular head tube, on this model of bike, we have what are called integrated headset cups. That means that the cups are actually integrated into the frame itself. This is going to be a little tricky because I've got to hold on to the headset, or hold on to the fork as I'm putting it up into the deal here. So first things first, I'm going to put a little bit of this grease on the crown race. Again, I'm not experienced at this, so I don't know if I'm doing this right. Please don't yell at me in the comments if anybody happens across this video and sees that I'm doing this wrong. Now, the bearing has a little bit of a beveled edge. I want to make sure that is going down and integrating with the crown race. So I put that there. Then I'm going to put a little bit more grease on the top. Honestly, I don't know if you can ever get too much grease. I'm going to go ahead and put some grease in the top cup here. Again, when I put the top bearing in, I want to make it so that the beveled edge there goes and sits into the cup itself. So I'm going to slip this up in here. Get that bearing there. Make sure the bottom bearing is in place. Get this cap installed there. Ooh, that's a nice fit. All right, so I'm going to put these spacers there. Awesome. And then this on top. All right, last but not least, I got the top cap with the threaded stem bolt. I think I did it. Okay, so now that I got this part done, I need to do these screws here. According to the markings here, these are 4.5 Newton meters for torque. Again, I got it pretty straight. So I just tighten these up. You know, turn them a little bit each and then turn the other one a little bit, turn the top one, bottom one, and kind of do that to prevent uneven pressure. Turn that now. I'll go ahead and torque this one all the way. Yeah, got it set to 4.5. Good and good. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the bars put in. See if I can do this without taking this whole thing off. So the handlebars are what came with the bike. The position of the bars got pretty well tattooed into the bike. So I'm just going to mainly match up the markings here with the stem, and then I should pretty much have it to where I had it before. If I can do this without having to take off, looks like that's going to work just fine. All right. Again, when you want to tighten this up, if you have this kind of a handlebar mount on your stem, tighten one screw and then go diagonally to the next screw and tighten that one up. Again, this is just a common sense type of thing for me. If it's not necessary, please feel free to comment about it. The thing that's making me think that this is the proper way to do it is making sure that there's equal tension on the part as you're tightening it up. You don't want to cause uneven tension. And I'm just keeping the torque at the same as what I had for the back bolts here. I don't know if that's correct. And one more. Perfect. And I think that's going to do it. Starting to look like my old King Julian. And I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. That's going to finish up this particular part of the project. The next video, I'm going to be putting in the seat post. I appreciate y'all watching the video. If I've earned your subscription, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That'll tell you when I post new videos. Hit the like button, share this with your friends. And hopefully this might have even had a little bit of an instructional element to it. I hope so. Until the next video, stay upright and keep the rubber side down.